Now, all right, for the monthly oracle card, I am reading from Kim Cran's Archetypes deck, and if I remember after the psychic read-in, I will read a little bit from the book on whatever card we pull, okay? Let's go ahead and chime my bell one more time to cleanse and clear the energy one more time. If you have sound sensitivities, please turn down in 3, 2, 1. All right. See what energy for the collective that Spirit wants us to look into. I know some of these cards because I've read quite a few now, but I haven't studied the whole deck yet. And I haven't read the entire book, so when I read into a card, it's purely me tapping in as a psychic medium, whatever Spirit wants us to know. And there's going to be objective message for the collective, and then you'll always find subjective messages within that for yourself, right? So take what resonates and leave the rest behind. Yet again, if you like my readings, feel free to check out the Divine With Me playlist. So Spirit, whoa, that card came out. The Ocean. XXXV, so what is that, 35? I'm going to use as descriptive audio as possible to give an idea of the visual experience for those that have vision impairments. $35 could be a synchronistic number. 10, 10, 10. Closing of chapters. 5, change. 35 adds up to an 8, which we were just talking about, the 8-8 portal. We're also talking about possibly going to the ocean or somewhere hot in September. So if you're interested in accumulating more abundance or being a little more extravagant with that energy, like we just spoke on in the Astro Highlights video, for those of you catching this shorter form oracle read, I will link the full reading for that at the end of this video. Thank you. This is Ellie, by the way, of Herbcraft by Ellie Apothecary. So the ocean. We're talking about Cancer expanding in the next year with Jupiter in Cancer since June. This is also a timeless message, so apply it how it fits for you. Perhaps you want to look at some Cancer energies in your chart. We all have everything in our chart, it's just in different placements. And whatever your top 5 personal planets are your highest influence on your personality. And everything outside of that is more generational energies that you were born into in different aspects of your life. You can look into past lives as well. Wow, and then I just pulled the Mountain. I wasn't going to pull a second card, but that, Spirit's got me shuffling here. I'm just going to go with it. We've had the Mountain, I want to say a few readings back. The Ocean and the Mountain. Interesting. Water and Earth energies. And the Mountain is XXX123, so 33. Or 6 could be a synchronistic number. This also makes me think of one of my tarot quests from a few months back. I think it was April, maybe March, which was the Mountain and the Queen. Perhaps check that out in the playlist if it calls to you. This seems like a choice between flowing or staying put. Going deep or traveling new heights. So do you want to go south or do you want to go north? Spirit's asking. Do you want to go deep and below? Or do you want to strive for more? Way up in the sky, lost in your ideals and thoughts. So the ocean card here. Let me describe. These oracle cards have a white banner around them. They are circular cards. Archetypes deck by Kim Kranz. 35. Trinity, change, integration, change, divine protection, transformation. So in the middle horizon line, there's the ocean below and then the sky above. And most of these cards look like they have been watercolor painted, which I really love. Her book descriptions are phenomenal as well. So the horizon line down, the ocean, it's like kind of messy, black, sketchy pen drawing. It's horizontal lines to make it look like not quite a still ocean, but ripples. And in the center, I think that's a black pearl. And I'm not sure if that's a reflection on the pearl. Strangely enough, and not to gross anyone out, but it kind of looks like cigarette butts, which is strange. That makes me think of pollution and toxins. Perhaps you have been extracting toxic patterns, behaviors, or some of you need to go dive deep and look at the darkness, look at the shadow, look at the muck, look at the internal festering. It's dropping into the ocean, it's not quite here, so it's like some of you are still thinking about this, but you haven't. You haven't taken the quest yet. Besides the black coloration of the water, there is colors of orange and red, faintly yellow, so emphasis on the root and sacral chakra. A little bit of solar with the yellow. So perhaps some of you, what you're extracting, what you are pulling out of you are potentially deep hidden fears or wounds. We were talking about Chiron in the Astro reading, which is the wounded healer archetype, okay? Perhaps you're about to plunge to make new discoveries, especially in regards to security, to creative energy, and your confidence, your will, your drive. Mostly though, I'd say on perhaps ways that you haven't been grounded in the past, that has sabotaged your security and your confidence for some. Above the horizon line is the different colors of blue. There's like a darker blue, like a gray blue, and then these wispy, almost tie-dye, more aquamarine, teal, and little bits of white. Makes me think of third eye and throat chakra. So how you see your 5D reality, psychic impressions, tapping into higher consciousness and expressing through some kind of medium. Doesn't have to be your voice, and you don't have to be a medium to access these senses, by the way. Speaking this out, creating a shield from some of you against what you've left behind. For those of you on an ascension, I'm sensing you've left behind what you have extracted, and it's plunging into the deeps in the depths to get cleansed, purified, and regenerated. And I see this like bounce back effect happening because at the center of this blue is, it looks like a seashell or a shield or a disc of some kind, and I can just see this like almost propelling and it working like a slingshot where it's going to thrust you further onto your highest timeline. So some of you are doing timeline jumping here if you choose to do the work to go deep. Some of you have already done that and you're in the process of this. Now looking at the mountain card, I've described this card before, but I'll do it again for those of you that haven't experienced my previous oracle readings. There is a massive mountain in the middle of the picture, and it's done in, it looks like it's snow-covered white with black sketchy lines, like pen lines, and it's a jagged mountain. And above the mountain are chakra colors of the lower and upper heart chakras. Little bit, there's like a faint light green, yellow, so a tiny bit of solar here. Again, there isn't a huge emphasis here on confidence in this, which is interesting. Maybe it's because we have all this Leo energy going on in the Lion's Gate. It's like you already have that within you. You just have to focus on these other things in order to bring it out. That's for some. So yeah, it looks like this beautiful dark sunset sky of greens and a little bit of teal and pink and yellow and very, 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 very faint sacral orange colors. More focus on the higher chakras, more feminine aspects, and envisioning a clear vision of what climbing that mountain means, what you're, if you choose not to go below, if you're choosing to focus on what you're building, how does your vision look? How can you create? Leo rules the 5th house of creativity, okay? So they're also ruled by the King of Wands in the tarot, Queen of Wands associations as well, of course. So they are the master magician and manifester. Definitely, if this rings any bells to you, if you're interested in participating in the 8/8 Lionsgate portal, this is the most epic time to create positive abundance in your life and to expand on your plans. Of course, mind the retrograde. You can still set intentions for it, just perhaps put a note in there about something to work around those energies or to boost you in these times of retrograde energies. If you want more information about that, drop me a comment and I'll consider seeing if I can give you more tips. So in the middle of this mountain at the top is a cutout square, indentation, bold black square. And then there's all the solar. This is why I say the solar is like within you, because it's inside the mountain, all this yellow with the faint orange and red outline. Again, connecting to the root sacral solar chakras. And inside this is the figure, black silhouette of a man with their hand on their hip, kind of looking out, gazing at everything below them. It's like they're insulated in this security, which has given them confidence, but there's so much more to see. And there's so much below that is unknown, because below the lower half of this card is all black silhouette of forest trees. There's a lot of unknown down there. Some of you may be afraid to come off your perch or your high horse for some of you. I'm just being playful. Don't take it personally. Come on now. Anyways, the moon is in Sagittarius today, so hello, horse people. Anyways, yeah, some of you are just very comfortable where you're at in your mountain, on top of the mountain. And you're very fixed, you're very fixated on what you've grown. But if you want to ascend to new heights, you can't be afraid of what's below, so perhaps you could use a little plunging into the depths. I would suggest when the moon is in Scorpio, Pisces specifically, or Cancer, to do soul journeys, okay? Especially Scorpio, because they're also the sign of the shaman, which doesn't really get talked about very often. So looking at these cards, I believe that Spirit is telling you to ask yourself where your focus is. Are you in the past or are you in the future? And wherein lies the present? Where are you between that space? Can you see your way forward? Or are you stuck, still behind? And are you so focused on building that you refuse to see ways that the past could be overshadowing you? You could also look at it as somebody who's very successful and has already gone through the depths, and they're looking at everything that is around them, their empire that they have created, and this is brought to the surface by accessing the 5D, by using your vision, your higher knowing. Because as we know, as above, so below. You have to believe it to see it, not the other way around, if you truly want to manifest your life. Alright, I'll take a picture of these cards and use it as the pinned image. I think that concludes the oracle portion. Please drop a magic wand in the comments if you love this psychic reading, or just put 88 in the comments for the Lion's Gate. Thank you so much for stopping by. Also appreciating likes, comments, shares, subscribes. And I hope you have a great month of August. For everyone else who stuck around for the shop updates, we'll cruise through this real quick and then we are going to conclude this video. So, our last tarot quest for the week, both long form and the 4 shorter form videos, were published over the last week. I linked the full video in the description box of this video. It is called You're Walking into the Best Days of Your Life Collective. Let go and receive. All 4 aces on the table. Yes, we had all 4 aces. We also had all 4 kings and 3 queens. It was fabulous. It was a really beautiful reading.